Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome on into my beauty stash. Today's video is all about the upcoming Sephora Vib Spring Savings event for 2023. I am going to be sharing with you guys my top 5 complexion products in every category, from primer to setting spray, you name it. And I want to mention that products that I've recommended in the past, I still stand by those products, and so you might not see some of my favorites mentioned in today's video, but believe me, they are still at the top of my list. And I will be updating you guys as to my favorites, not just in the categories I'm going to be talking about today, but in other categories as well. I'll be doing some little picture collages, and I'll be updating you guys with those in the community section here on YouTube, and of course also on my Instagram. So there is not going to be a lack of favorites from Sephora. I am going to help you guys make some good buying decisions. And if you can't buy during the sale, guys, don't let FOMO get the best of you. If you can't buy, don't buy. There will be other sales. Don't worry about it. Just some quick details about the sale as far as the dates go. So it does start this Friday, April the 14th for Rouge members. You get 20% off. And then on April the 18th, which is going to be for VIB and also for Insider, VIB gets 15% off, Insider gets 10% off, and you can shop the 18th through the 24th. Rouge can shop the 14th through the 24th. And don't forget that all Sephora collection items are going to be 30% off. If you guys want to hear my top 5 picks for complexion products, every category in complexion products, keep on watching. And guys, if it is your first time here on my channel, I just want to say hello and welcome to all of you. So happy to have everybody here. Do me a favor, click on that subscribe button and hit the bell next to it. That way you'll be notified every time I drop a new video. And if you like what you see, if you like these type of videos, because I almost didn't do a dedicated Sephora sale video, give this video a thumbs up so that way I'll know to do more of them in the future. I actually have one more dedicated Sephora sale video coming up, and it's gonna be like my top 10 new products that I am curious to try, or that maybe I've already picked up and I'm recommending you guys check out. So be on the lookout for that. It might go up a day or two after you see this particular video. And if you're wondering about the makeup look I have on, you guys should see this get ready with me style of video go up right after this video does. Let's get started with primer. So I'm going to be covering primer, concealer, foundation, powder, and setting spray. Those top 5 products, complexion products. These have been tried and true in my stash. Some are newer to my stash than others. Some I've used for many, many years. And like I said, you're gonna see that I'm not gonna mention some of my favorite foundations like Dior Forever Glow or Dior Forever Matte Foundation, Estee Lauder Futurist Hydro Rescue Foundation. You're gonna see that I'm not gonna include some of my favorite concealers like the Lancome concealer, the Dior concealer, and that's just because I've recommended them so many times. You guys just know they're my favorites, and I'm always gonna stand by those products. I wanted to spotlight some newer things and things that I've been rediscovering as well. The first primer I want to recommend, and I have you guys to thank for this one, is this one from Caliray. You guys were on me, Steph, have you tried the new one from Caliray? Have you tried the new one from Caliray? It's not so new anymore. It's been out for a few months, but this is the So Blown Clean Blurring Primer. Guys, I like this one. This is truly a nice blurring primer. And thank you guys for correcting me on the owner of the brand. I don't know why I was thinking that Caliray was like an influencer brand, like somebody from TikTok started this brand. It's actually the owner of Urban Decay, or the founder of Urban Decay, Wendy. Urban Decay has now been sold to L'Oreal or Estee Lauder. I forget which one, but she started this brand, Caliray. I want to say this brand started last year or the year before last, and I think this was one of the very first products that they launched with, and I've been really enjoying it. I do have large pores in through here. I did suffer from acne growing up, and so I have, you know, some old acne scars, minor discoloration, and I am a normal to oily skin type, so I have larger pores on my nose. This does a great job, and it's been playing nicely with the foundations I've been, applying on top of it. Another primer that I've been absolutely loving is the new one from Glow Recipe. So I use the serum that is like the sister product to this one. This is the Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore-Smooth Blur Drops. If you want a blurred complexion, also like a mattified complexion, especially if you're full on oily, I highly recommend you guys check out this Glow Recipe primer. It is fantastic. And now that summer is coming up, you want to be as matte as possible on your base, and then just allow like your blush and your highlighter to help you glow everywhere else. But this is a very good base. It is a very good primer for the rest of your makeup products. And then the skincare product that goes along with this, they're the Strawberry AHA BHA, I think it's like pore refining drops. I forget the particular name of it, but I use that. I don't use it every day, but I use it like every couple days whenever I get like maybe a little allergy or allergic reaction to something, minor little red bumps. I use it within 24 hours, it's gone. So I recommend the primer, and I recommend the sister serum that goes along with this. Amazing products from Glow Recipe. Glow Recipe is one of my favorite skincare brands. And next, I have two primers, but I'm gonna put them together as one because they're both from the same brand, and it is from One Size. So this one you guys have seen me use numerous times here on my channel. This is the Secure the Blur Makeup Magnet Primer. I think this is a nice blurring primer, and if you're a normal to oily skin type, this also does a great job of just kind of helping to mattify slightly the areas where you lay this down. I've just loved this primer. I'm actually almost out of it, so I'll probably be picking up a new one, but they just released this other primer. So this is their Secure the Sweat Dry Till Dawn Primer. I live in South Texas. It is humid like 90% of the time, and so once summer comes, and I hear we're in for a very, very hot summer down here, I need my makeup to last. I don't need it to be dripping off of my face, to be smearing or anything like that. I've used this several times now. It's played nicely with the foundation and powders and concealers that I place on top of it. You only need a small amount of this product. I know I've heard like some horror stories. People are saying it like kind of balls up on their complexion. That could also be that maybe you went in with too much moisturizer, or maybe you didn't allow your sunscreen to completely settle in. But just try using a small amount of this product, and it does work. I'm not going to say it's 100% bulletproof, that your makeup won't melt off, but it is a very good starting point in keeping that makeup on all day. Another primer I've really been enjoying is this one right here. This is the Peace Out Instant Pore Perfector. This reminds me so much of my Holy Grail primer from Catrice, the 1 Minute Face Perfector, but I know Catrice is not as readily available as the products are at Sephora and at Ulta, because Peace Out is also at Ulta now. But this is a really pretty smoothing, blurring primer. If you like that Catrice primer and maybe you're not able to pick it up anymore, this is a great alternative, and I want to say it's about 20 bucks. The Catrice primer is probably about 10 bucks, but if you're going to be shopping the Sephora sale, you'll be able to get this at a discount, and this is a really nice blurring and smoothing primer. Definitely recommend this one. Last but not least in the primer category is the Huda Glowish Blur Jam Primer. I have really been enjoying this primer. I've been getting a lot of use out of it. Again, you can see my trend. I like blurring. I like pore filling, because that's what I need with my normal to oily skin type. I am also 41 years old, so I have little fine lines creeping in here and there. I just want to be as blurred as I can, especially like right in this area and on my forehead. Glowish Blur Jam is a fantastic primer. It has a unique texture to it, and it's just, again, it's played really nicely with all of the products that I placed on top of it. Now from primer, we're gonna go to foundation, and one of the newest foundations, one of the foundations that I can already say is gonna be a best of 2023 is this one from Laura Mercier. I am so impressed with this foundation. It looks beautiful on my normal to oily skin, and it lasts. I need my foundation to last a good 10 hours. This one does it. This one does it, and it just gives such a beautiful natural finish to my complexion. This is the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. The shade that I have in this one is 1C2 Chiffon, and I'll go ahead and I'll swatch all the foundations and concealers on the back of my hand, and hopefully we can keep them straight. So here is the Laura Mercier. It's a little smidge too dark, but summer's coming up. I'm sure I'm going to grow into it. And once it gets blended out and you add the other makeup products on top of it, it looks pretty good. I'm not exchanging it. I'm not buying another shade. This foundation is so lightweight, and again, it provides a good strong medium coverage, maybe even bordering on the lighter side of full coverage. It's weightless. It's just perfection, and I totally recommend this foundation. And guys, one other thing before we continue on with foundations and concealers, I have reviews on pretty much all of the foundations and concealers that you're gonna see me recommend in today's video. So I'm gonna have those playlists linked in the description box in case you want to check out any dedicated reviews over these particular products. Next is a product that is not new, but I've just rediscovered it, and I'm gonna be picking up another one because I'm just about out of it, and it is the Fenty Eaze Drop foundation, or skin tint I should say. And on this one I have shade 3. This is a really lightweight, a really nice, good, maybe like right in the middle of medium coverage when it comes to skin tints. But this lasts all day long, and it also lasts through heat and humidity. It just feels so lightweight on the complexion. I will say that I think I get more coverage out of the Laura Mercier than I do with the Fenty one. But out of all the Fenty foundations that I've tried, and I've tried them all, even the powder foundation, which I'm not recommending any powder foundations in this particular video. I'll probably do maybe a graphic on my community tab with some powder foundation recommendations if y'all would like to see that. This Fenty Eaze Drop has been the best that I've tried from them, and I love it. It just lasts all day. It does provide good coverage. It's lightweight, and I think that this is a very versatile skin tint that works like on every skin type. And once again, I am a normal to oily skin type, but I can totally see this working for those of you with normal to dry skin as well. Next up is a foundation that I know a lot of you out there with normal to dry skin, full-on dry skin, have really been enjoying, and I'm talking about the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. In this foundation, I have shade 110 Light Neutral. Like, this is some heavy duty packaging on here. I mean, this can hurt somebody. Be careful with this one. You do get a pump on it. Let me go ahead and swatch it on the back of my hand. We've been talking about lightweight foundations. It's right here. This is another lightweight foundation with beautiful coverage. This is going to be more of a glowy finish, at least on me. I feel it's more of a glowy finish out of between the 3 of these foundations that I have swatched. But this is a really nice one, a very lightweight, very thin consistency. For me, I definitely need to wear this with setting powder because, again, I feel like it's more along the glowier side of foundations. But when I pair it with setting powder and touch up, you know, once, twice throughout the day, it's going to get me a good 10 hours of wear. I think this revamped Haus Labs brand from Lady Gaga is what the brand should have been when she initially launched it a few years back, because when she initially launched Haus Labs, I didn't really see Lady Gaga in the brand. With this new revamped Haus Labs that she launched exclusively at Sephora and of course on her own website, I can see this as something Lady Gaga would create. And this is beautiful. This is a beautiful foundation. I know so many of you have loved it, but I love all of the other products that they're coming out with. I don't think they have a concealer, so I'm hoping we get a concealer this year from them. But we do have a setting powder, and you guys, just spoiler alert, you will see that setting powder coming up in today's video. But the Triclone foundation is a very nice one, especially those of you with normal to dry skin. I think you're really going to enjoy this if you haven't tried it already. Another foundation, I think I recommended this last year, is this one from Estee Lauder. And Estee Lauder makes a lot of amazing foundations. I love a lot of Estee Lauder foundations, but I wanted in particular to spotlight this one because this is more of a lighter coverage with a matte finish. We don't always get light coverage or like skin tints that have a matte finish, but this one does. And this is the Double Wear Sheer Longwear Makeup with SPF 19. Again, please do not rely on the SPF that is in your foundation to be your one and done SPF. You always want to go in with a separate SPF before you start applying your primer, foundation, and all of that good stuff. The shade that I have in this one is shade 1N1 Ivory Nude. And this, I know it says it provides light coverage and it's a very watery formula. I know it says it provides light coverage, but I can almost get medium coverage out of this. And this is a pretty good shade match for me. 1N1, what was it? Light or Ivory Nude. I just think it's a really pretty foundation, and if you're looking for something more along the lines of a skin tint, but you have maybe full-on oily skin or normal to oily skin, and you want something that's going to help just control your oil, this one from Estee Lauder would be the perfect one to check out and the perfect one for summertime. And last but not least, I have another skin tint. This is a brand new skin tint. Some of you might be surprised that I'm recommending this product, but it is this one from Too Faced, and this is their Born This Way Healthy Glow SPF 30 moisturizing skin tint. It says it has watermelon, apple, and hyaluronic acid. So I tried this. I have a review over this. I did a review over these two products together. The shade that I have in this one is shade Porcelain. These lean on the dark side. So here is Porcelain. You can see it's a little too dark for me. I'll grow into the shade as I start going to the beach, which I'm hoping to go to the beach very soon. But just be mindful of that. If you're gonna order this foundation, I would maybe order a shade down because I do feel they run a bit on the darker side, but it's a very thin formula with really good coverage. This is going to give you more along the lines of like a natural finish, but it holds up all day long. Like in this South Texas heat and humidity, this did a fantastic job, and it paired really well with this new One Size Secure the Sweat primer. So if you're looking to add a new skin tint, I would say there's not a lot of things that I like in the Born This Way line from Too Faced. I didn't like the concealer. I didn't like the original foundation. I do love the matte foundation. I think that's a really good full coverage, long wearing foundation. But I was really shocked that I enjoyed this skin tint. And this is their latest. This came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I've been enjoying it. It does have coconut water in it, and coconut water can sometimes maybe cause some people to have like a little allergic reaction or maybe a little bit of an acne flare up. I did notice something after I used this product, but whenever I see like I have a little allergic reaction to something, I always use that Glow Recipes strawberry serum and it clears it up. So I'm not gonna let that stop me from continuing to use this. I liked it. I've used it a couple times since that initial review, and I think it's a nice one to check out. Now from foundation, we're gonna go to concealer, and again, Dior, Lancome, those are always gonna be at the top of my list. I'm just not mentioning them in today's video because, like I said, I've mentioned them so many times. You guys know those are some of my favorites. I'm going to mention a concealer that I rarely talk about and you guys rarely, if ever, have seen me use on my channel, but it's this one from Bare Minerals. So I use this whenever I have a zit that's larger than life. And I get a little like an eyeshadow brush and I just lightly dab over it with this, and it stays concealed all day. Like the redness doesn't come through at all. It just stays covered. There's something about a powder concealer, and this is strange. It only comes in 2 different shades. The shade that I have is shade Well Rested. This is meant to be like an under eye concealer. I hated it as an under eye concealer, but I love this for covering zits. Like, it is the perfect concealer for doing that. Like, I can go over it with my regular liquid concealer, but then to really get rid of the redness, I do a little bit, just a little bit, a little tiny dot wherever I have the pimple, and it's gone. Like, it's not gone, but it's concealed. This has been in my stash for so many years. I probably shouldn't be using it because it is very, very old, but it still works. It still works, so I'm keeping it around, and I still have quite a bit. Thank God, you know, a lot of my acne has cleared up. I started getting rid of my acne when I was like in my mid-20s and stuff, but believe me, I grew up with really bad acne, and it's not a good feeling. So when you can find something that really helps to conceal like the redness in particular, like, you're gonna want to get it and hold on to it forever, and this has been that product for me. Another concealer that I really liked, and I want to say I recommended this last year, but I've seen it on sale lately, so I'm hoping it's not going to go away. But this is also one that you can get not just in full size, but also in travel size, and it's the Power Flex Concealer from Tarte. So the shade I have in this one is shade 14N. I usually go for shade 14N whenever I buy like a Tarte product. This is full coverage, and I think this is meant to be the Sephora version of the Tarte Shape Tape, because if you notice, Shape Tape concealer is not sold at Sephora. That is like an Ulta exclusive and other retailer exclusive. So I think this Tarte C Power Flex is meant to be the answer for Shape Tape, but I find this to be better than Shape Tape. I don't find it to be as drying as sometimes the OG Shape Tape concealer can be. I find this to be just really nice, smoothing, lasts all day. Set it with some powder. I think you're gonna love this. It's definitely full coverage, and I've really enjoyed using this in my stash over the last, I think I've had this for like almost 2 years. Another concealer that's fairly new, came out last year, is the one from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is her Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I have shade 4 in this one. This is a gorgeous concealer, and it definitely lives up to its name. I think it is absolutely beautiful. It is this one right here. It's beautiful. Like, it goes great under the eye area. I do set all of these concealers, well, not this one from Bare Minerals, but I do set all of the other concealers that I'm going to be discussing, especially if I'm going to be placing them under the eye area. There's actually one concealer that I'm going to talk about next where I can either do it both ways. I can either set it or not. It's a very versatile concealer, but both of these I make sure to set, and they just provide that flawless complexion that I'm looking for. Next up is another Laura Mercier product, and it is this one right here. There's actually 2 Laura Mercier concealers that I really love, this one and the Flawless Fusion concealer, but I wanted to spotlight this one because this is a dual-ended concealer. So this is her Secret Camouflage Brighten and Correct Duo. So this side that I'm going to show you first, this one is the correct side. That's what they're calling it. You can see it right here. And this is just real easy, quick swipe on and go. This is one where I don't need to use powder with. It works great with or without powder. This other side is the Brighten side. You can see it there. I don't know. I would think this one would be the Brighten, right? Do I have it right? Yeah. The darker one is the Brighten side. I don't know. Sometimes I just use one or the other. I don't really necessarily use them together, but this is great for those of you who just don't like to wear powder under your eye area. This is a very smoothing, it's a good medium coverage concealer. It's not going to totally camouflage like all of the darkness, but if you don't have a lot of darkness, which I don't have a lot of darkness under my eye area, this is perfect. This is perfect for on the go. Throw it in your purse, put it in your pocket, do a little touch up throughout the day. This Laura Mercier concealer is just absolutely beautiful. And the last concealer I have to recommend to you guys is this one from LYS, and it is their Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. This is, a lot of people have said this concealer, and the shade I have here, this one is LG3. The shade that I have, I mean not the shade, but this concealer, I've heard that some people say they don't feel it's as brightening, or not as brightening, but as a full coverage as it claims to be, that it's more along the lines of a medium coverage. I would say this is more along the lines of a higher end medium coverage, bordering on a lighter end of full coverage. I think once you add some setting powder on top of it, you can definitely get full coverage out of it. I like this one. I like this for spot concealing. I like it under the eye area. I think it lays really well on the complexion, especially under the eyes where I have some fine lines going on. I've just enjoyed it. I actually have this one in 2 different shades. I have one shade to like spot conceal with, and then I have a lighter shade to wear for the under eye area, and it's just been a really good concealer to have in my stash. And if you haven't tried it yet, maybe you've never tried anything from LYS Beauty, let the Sephora, this year's Sephora VIB Spring Sale be the time that you try this brand, add it to your stash, and thank me later. So from concealers, we're gonna go to powders next. And I told you I had the Haus Labs powder in my top 5, and it is this one right here. This is the Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder. This is one of the most finely milled powders you could ever get. It is blurring, it is mattifying, but it still allows your complexion to have a slight little glow to it. It's not going to make you shiny or anything like that. It does do a good job with oil control, but the way that this helps to blur the under eye area, it's just perfection. This is such a great powder. Like, I cannot recommend this more. It's a very, very lightweight setting powder. And for those of you who don't like wearing a lot of heavy setting powder, especially under the eye area, this one is one that you need to check out. Also, a very finely milled powder that is just probably the most blurring out of the ones I'm going to mention is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores setting powder. I've had this one in my stash for quite some time. I should probably pick up a new one, but this just does a really good job, especially under the eye area. For me, that's my major concern. I just want this area to look really smooth, and this one does a good job, not just under the eyes, but also in the T-zone and helping to control oil. That's why it is the Bye Bye Pores powder. This is just a really good one. IT Cosmetics has a fabulous powder on their hands with that one. Next up is from Huda Beauty. So I've had this powder, the Translucent Sugar Cookie. This is their Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder in my stash for quite some time. But I recently added the new shade, which is Cherry Blossom. And that's actually what I'm wearing today under my eye area. So I'm excited. If you can find Cherry Blossom, you guys know the trend right now is to put like blush under the eye area. I don't know. I don't get it. But try a slight baby pink setting powder under the eye area to kind of help brighten a little bit. I like the way it looks. It's very smoothing, very blurring. I've always liked the original. Now I have Cherry Blossom, and I know this is going to be, I've only used this once. I've only used it once. So I can definitely recommend the Sugar Cookie one. But, you know, so far, first impression, it made a good first impression, the Cherry Blossom shade. And if you've been wanting to try it, it just came back in stock. I hope it stays in stock during the sale, but that would be, if you've had your eye on it, the first thing to grab it, because I think that's going to sell out really fast. Another powder that I hate to recommend, because I know this powder is not going to work for every skin tone. I know for deeper skin tones, this is going to leave kind of like a gray cast. But for those of you with a fair to light, even bordering on medium skin tone, this Hourglass in Ambient Light Infinity Powder is beautiful. I mean, when you want that candlelit glow effect, that blurring, that smoothing, that just airbrushed look, this Infinity Powder is so beautiful. I love it. I hate to recommend it because not all of you, it's not going to look great on all of you, but for those of you with a similar complexion to mine, this powder is worth its price tag. But you guys are going to get it on sale. You're going to get it on sale because you're going to get it during the Sephora VIB sale, and I think it is totally worth checking out. I don't think this comes in a mini size, but out of all of their finishing powders, this is the one that I absolutely recommend and love the most. And last but not least, for setting powders, I'm going to scoot over a little bit, is this one from Givenchy. So this is on my wish list. I've never tried this powder before. I've always been curious about this powder because so many people say so many amazing things about this powder. This is their Prisme Libre Loose Setting and Finishing Powder. It comes in several different shades. It has a $59 price tag. That is why I haven't bought this powder before, but I don't know, I might. They do have a couple mini versions available, but I don't know that they have the shade that I want in a mini size. So this might be something that I pick up. I know a lot of you out there, you have this powder and you love it. Let me know in the comments if you have this one and kind of convince me whether I should get it or not. Or maybe you've had the total opposite experience. Let me know either way what your experience has been with this powder, but I'm recommending this because this is something that I want to try. And last but not least, we have setting sprays. So I'm always going to recommend Urban Decay All Nighter. I have the glowy version, I have the ultra matte version, I have the one with vitamin C. This is the OG. These setting sprays are like a non-negotiable for me. Like they're always going to be in my stash. They're the OG setting spray and it just works every time. So this is not going to be included in the top 5, but it's just a holy grail in my stash. I just wanted to throw that out there. One setting spray that I've really been enjoying, and this one I'm practically out of, but I have a full size waiting for me already, is the one from One Size, and this is their Until Dawn mattifying waterproof setting spray. This setting spray is not very wet and it doesn't leave any like droplets on your complexion. Let me spray some. It is an aerosol setting spray. It does have a little bit of a scent to it, but it does go away rather quickly. And I like that you can get it in a smaller size if you want to just try it out. But this is a good setting spray, especially if you have a normal to oily, full-on oily skin, or you want a setting spray that's just more of an aerosol type that's not going to leave any little droplets that might ruin your makeup. This isn't going to do that. This is just an easy, quick, you can even spray it, you know, during the day to help mattify if you don't have any setting powder handy. This has been one of my favorite setting sprays, along with, how could I not, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Charlotte makes a lot of amazing products and this is one of them. This comes in mini size like I have, and it comes in full size. I love this setting spray so much. It really helps to improve the longevity of my makeup, and it also provides a hint of a little bit of a natural glow, and I love that. If you want more of a glowy setting spray, allow me to recommend this one from Rare Beauty. So this is her Always an Optimist 4-in-1 Mist. You can use this as a primer, you can use this as a setting spray, and you can use this as a makeup refresher. What I like to do with this product is I like to spray it before I apply foundation. Right after I apply primer, I'll spray this and then I'll go in with foundation. And once I get done with all of my cream products, then I'll spray this and I'll have that soft little glow to my complexion. And then I can go in with my setting powders and all of that good stuff. That's how I've been wearing my setting sprays lately. I've been doing all of my cream products first, do the setting spray, then go in with any powder products and start creating the eye look, so on and so forth. So I'm going to recommend you try that technique. I got that technique from Rose and Ben over on Instagram. She has a lot of amazing makeup tips, and that is one of them that I got from her that's really been working and making a difference in the way, you know, my makeup lasts throughout the day. Another one of my favorites is this one from Benefit, and it is the Professional Super Setter. This has a very fine mist, as does the Rare Beauty one. But this is a really nice setting spray for really helping to make that makeup last all day long. This also comes in a travel size, which is great because sometimes, you know, you don't always know if you're gonna like a product, and if you can buy a travel size version, that's always great. And then if you like it, then you end up buying the full size version. I will caution you though, that's what I did with this one, and the nozzle was completely messed up. It wasn't the fine mist that the full size provides, so maybe you want to go for the full size instead of the travel size when it comes to this one. But yeah, that is something that I noticed, and so I don't even think I finished the travel size in that one. I bought this one and then I just kept refilling to make sure I used up the product. But yeah, the nozzle on that one didn't work. This one works fantastic. It is a very, very fine mist. And last but not least is the latest one from Too Faced, and this is their Makeup Insurance 18-Hour Wear Long Wear Setting Spray. It also has, or claims to have, the blue light defense. There's a little ball in here to help mix up the product, which I love. It is a very fine mist, and it also helps to just lock in your makeup for that all-day wear. This has been a really nice one. I think between these, I don't think you need them both. I would just choose one or the other. I feel like they're on the same level, so I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these. As far as the other setting sprays go, I mean, they're fantastic. I love them. I love all of the products that I have been able to recommend to you guys today. And with that, we wrap up today's video. I want to hear from you guys. What are some of the things that you're going to be picking up, like complexion product wise, during the Sephora VIB sale? Don't forget that for Rouge members, you guys can start shopping for 20% off this Friday on the 14th. And then VIB and Insiders start on April the 18th. I'm so excited. I have a little list that I'm compiling. I'm not going to be buying too much just because I've already bought a lot of makeup lately, but I'm going to restock on some favorites, some skincare. I will definitely do a skincare post in the community section and over on Instagram, my, you know, skincare favorites, recommendations. You guys are going to see a lot of Glow Recipe, Paula's Choice, The Ordinary in that little makeup, in that little collage. But I love doing those collages for you guys, and that way you can just see, you know, some of the pictures and things that I recommend, and you can save them and just reference them for whenever you're building your cart and deciding what things to buy or what things not to buy. And guys, again, don't let FOMO get the best of you. If you don't truly need something, don't buy it. There's always going to be other sales. This is not the last sale. It's not the one and done. Every brand on their website is going to be having sales coming up really soon, 15–20% off. So if you can't buy it from Sephora, don't forget you can always order straight from the brand website. Mother's Day is coming up, so you know a lot of sales are going to be happening really, really soon. But that wraps up today's video. Let me know your thoughts and stay tuned for one more dedicated Sephora VIB sale. That's going to be like my top 10 new makeup favorites that I think are worth checking out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. I'll see y'all very soon. Bye.